Steve, you've been an international break. It's been a chance for you to almost implement your ideas even more. You have kind of 2 weeks solid on the training pitch.
Yeah, we're always working on the training pitch. I think it's been a frustrating 2 weeks we could have been doing without it. It's been a very stop-start recently, especially the last 2 games before the break. We felt like it was a frustrating time. We feel like, especially the last 2 games, but in general we should have a couple more points than we already have, in my opinion. So the break's been a bit of a frustrating time, but it's been a chance for us to individualise people, get people up to speed, give people a little bit of time that have been carrying a few things, so we've used it to our benefit as much as we could.
How are the injuries looking?
Yeah, we've still got 1 or 2 that isn't 100%, and we're still waiting on a couple potentially for tomorrow, so we won't be at full strength, but we'll be as ready as we can be.
Okay, just going back to the previous few games, talk about more points. What is it that needs to change? Is it just getting over the line in terms of victories? Is it converting these chances? Because the last 2 games you've had so many chances and just not coming back.
Yeah, well, we've looked at it. The guys have looked at it. We've watched every game back as much as we can, and we don't overindulge with the stats and stuff like that. But everything that we look to do in terms of possession or chances or where we're creating chances from, the expected goals are all good. Everything's at a high level within the league in comparison with other teams. It's just that conversion rate. It's just that taking our chances. And one thing we will know for the weekend is you're not going to get 10, 12, 15 chances. You're going to get a smaller number than that, and it's important when you do get there. If we get there, we are clinical with it, and I think that's something that we've worked on, we've highlighted, everyone's agree with. So as I say, we're always looking for ways to improve and get better.
Celtic at the weekend, is it a case of you look at what St Mirren did a couple of weeks ago, that's a blueprint, or do you go with your own style?
We'll always have our own style. I think we're coming up against a difficult time. I mean, Celtic at home or Celtic away is 2 totally different games. The ball in play at Celtic Park is high. It's as close to 100% as you'll probably see for any team. The ball comes in, it doesn't stop. So we're prepared for that. We're aware of that. We're not in control of that. So we understand, what we're up against. They'll probably be frustrated from the last result and performance, but similarly so we. So, every kind of angle we could look at for Celtic and the opposition, like we always do, we've looked at, and we'll be as prepared as we possibly can be for this game.
Does the St Mirren result show though that they can drop points, they can be beaten?
Yeah, it does. I think every team can. Every team can be beaten. There's not a team ever that's unbeatable. There's not. Is it difficult? Is it as difficult as it gets just now? Absolutely it is. We understand that. We know we need to be very, very strong. I need to do well. Our staff need to do well. The players need to do well individually. More importantly, collectively, they need to do well. We need to be strong physically, technically, tactically. We need to be good. So every aspect of our game is going to be tested. But that's where we're at, and we're ready for it.
Stevie, is it important that you stick to your own style and don't adapt too much when it comes to games like Celtic?
Yeah, there's always tweaks. We always kind of look at the opposition. It's always more importantly what we're doing and how we're approaching the game in terms of what suits us. But being fully aware of what the opposition have and how they can, what their threats are, which they've got a lot of. So it's getting that balance right, but it will always be to the way we want to do things, individualised, our style, if you like. On the game, again, it's going to be difficult. We understand that, but the players have bought into everything we've tried to tell them so far, and it's a game that they should be approaching with a real encouragement and enjoyment, and going and really proving it's a game as individual or as a collective that if you do well in terms of you personally, your reputation will do well, whether you're trying to earn a new contract at Motherwell, or you're trying to progress on, or you're trying to establish yourself as a young player at the club, then it's a great game for you.
And how do you ensure that you start with the same tempo that Celtic do, especially when they play Celtic half?
Yeah, it's no secret. They start fast. No matter the opposition, they'll start fast. They'll start quick. They'll get the ball and play, and they'll get after you and try and win the game early. I mean, that's what we've seen. I think that's clear to see, and we need to be ready for that. It's not just the early parts of the game, but it's so important. And like I said, I think over the last week or so, we've watched every single game. I have anyway, some part of every game they've played in the last 2 years. There's some part of every single game they've played in. So we've done our work. We've looked at it. We've not over-analysed it, but we've looked at what they're good at, which is a lot. But we've also looked at what we think we can do as a group in terms of how it suits us.
You mentioned that the ball in play and the ball boys are throwing the ball, what they're doing, and getting the ball back in. Is that something you can work on?
We're going to get the subs to run round and take all the balls away. No, but we look at it, we highlighted it, they get the ball in quick, the ball boys are on form as well, so they play well for them as well. But that's our style, and that's it. Every team's got a certain style. Like I sit here every week, we've done this. Every team has a certain style, and it's a clear style, it's an impressive style. I think that's the thing. Individually they're strong, but collectively they're really good. You can tell they've been coached well, which takes time. It takes time and it takes effort, which I'm fully aware of. So I think you see the way they play shows you what they're all about in terms of the detail. It's the buy-in from the players, the actual way they do it. They've got a high level of player, probably more than most clubs in the league. But to get them to play to that certain style tells you everything you need to know about where they're at. But again, it's something we're looking forward to, and we're relishing, and we'll be ready to get after it.
On your style as well, I mean, you obviously frustrated the last couple of games, especially with the chances that have not been taken. But the style of football does look completely different to maybe the first game that you took charge with 24 hours notice as well. Was that really pleasing for you that the players have managed to kind of transform the way they play?
Yeah, I think so. It's something that we were tasked with when we came in, and it's something I wanted to do. Obviously, every manager will play differently. I feel like it is different. I feel like we could and should have more points than we do, but I feel like we've played well in pretty much every game this season. Maybe one or two not at our best, but we're at a good level in terms of where we're playing. But that means nothing if you're not putting points on the board. We need to be clinical, and every game that's not going to change when we get into those areas. It doesn't matter who the opposition is, how many fans are at the game. When you get a chance in front of goal, it's important that you take it more often than we were before.
Is the 2 week break or the 2 weeks training allowed Louis Moult maybe take it one up to speed as well? Is that?
Yeah, he's one of the players that it's been good for. We've had a good, as I say, everybody's been tailored and individualised to what they need and what they don't need. There's a couple that have been, got a little bit less minutes in the legs in training and in the sessions we've done. But Lou's one that he's progressing as we go, and like I've said, whenever we've been asked the question about Louis, he'll play a big part for us this season.
Did it give? Obviously, 2 months ago you get the call when you were on holiday and take over. You probably not had the chance to stop and think until maybe the international break. Did that give you a couple of days just to reflect on things and allow you to look at things?
No, I struggle with that. I struggle with kind of turning off and stuff like that and reflecting. I just constantly. The last 2 weeks haven't been good for me because it's just been the last two results I've been thinking about in terms of the points we gathered and what I felt like what I played deserved, especially knowing that we've got a tough run of fixtures coming up just now. So I understand how difficult it is to get points on the board in this league against any opposition. So it was more a frustration, but an eagerness and a willingness to rectify that. And over the course of the next few months, we'll hopefully still see good performances, but echoed with or mirrored with positive results as well.
Stevie, the last time Motherwell beat Celtic at Celtic Park in 2015, how big a deal would it be to set a new record?
Yeah, I remember the game Louis scored. I was playing in the game. I think in the game, like I touched on earlier, we played well. Individually, we played well, but collectively, we were really, really strong. And when we got our chances, we took them. That was important at the time we were playing. It was a good team we had at the time, and it was, it wasn't. I don't think it would be as long since then that we've won again, but the feeling after that was, we were good enough as a team to go there and win. The belief was there. Individually we were strong and collectively we were strong. So I think any team that goes there this season and gets anything, that's three things that will need to happen.
You touched on chances earlier on. In a game like this, it's even more important, isn't it, to take chances because you might not get that many? Yeah,
exactly that. I think we touched on that. when we do, if we get into those areas, we need to be clinical. We need to, if there's any lapses in concentration or errors from their side, which is very few and far between so far this season, we need to be ready for it. And other ways we can cause problems as much as we can. If and when we do get a chance, it's no secret. You need to take it. I mean, that's obvious. That's simple.
Both the teams lost their game going into this one. How does that kind of give you a good situation to be in?
With what? Sorry.
With both teams having lost, they kind of maybe both got a wee bit of a point to prove. Does that kind of? We go into every game to try and get a positive result. That won't change. I think the fact they've lost the last game, obviously there'll be a reaction. But like I said earlier, we understand no matter if they won every game this season, lost every game this season, it's not going to change. They're going to start fast. They're going to come and expect to win the game. We need to be ready for that, which we will be as much as we possibly can be.